further ahead by now. Have you ever thought that to yourself? I'm going to tell you that thinking right there is what is keeping you where you are and not making the quantum leaps like you were once used to. When you're in the state of not there yet or should be further ahead, that is what will end up reflecting in your world. It'll look like what you want to be creating in your business and life will always be off in the future. And look, I hear you. You've checked all the boxes. You're smart. You're ambitious. You worked hard, built credibility, maybe even built the team, climbed the ladder, or scaled the business. You've read the books. You've listened to all the podcasts. And maybe you've dabbled in vision boards and manifesting, and that's all cool. And yet here you are, circling, frustrated, secretly thinking, why isn't this happening faster? What am I missing? And I'm going to tell you exactly why quantum leaps feel elusive and why the truth is this. They're actually simple, dead simple. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why. I'm Karen Laniu, and I work with ambitious entrepreneurs, executives, celebrities, and creatives who have hit a plateau. And I show them how to level up fast by stepping into who they were meant to be. So if you like these videos, give them a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to invest in yourself and level up with me, you can check out my coaching and my programs in the links section. You see, I read hundreds of books on psychology, quantum physics, leadership, performance, spirituality, law of attraction. I've studied counseling, coaching, and energy. I've even built my own processes and shared them with thousands of people. And here's what I found. Most of it is just too damn complicated. Does it work? Sure. But it's like getting a PhD in order to make toast. It's totally over-engineered. And honestly, most high achievers don't have the patience for that. You want results like yesterday, and you're wired to move fast and to be efficient. And I'm totally there with you on that. From the very start, when I started using law of attraction to get a dream job, have our move paid for to a new city, buy our house with literally no money, and then have a podcast that went through the roof in popularity, I wanted to share what I knew and simplify it. And that was great until it wasn't, because I started finding my own hiccups. The things I was wanting to create in my business ended up being a slog and never felt good enough. I mean, really, how do you have a top 10 podcast and not have $1 million in the bank? I bought so many marketing coaching programs. I tried every tactic, every sales pitch. I hustled. I stayed consistent. I tried being something I wasn't. God, that was a disaster. And none of it worked the way I thought it should. And I really thought it many times that I'd be further ahead. Sound familiar? And as a result, my process evolved because I realized it wasn't about attraction. It was about who I was being, who my clients were being, and what they were stepping into. And don't kid yourself, it is never about the tactics. And how do I know that? Well, my experience, but not only mine, my coach, who is a business coach that has helped business people all over the world literally make hundreds of millions of dollars, said today, it's never a tactic or a strategy question. It's about mindset and who you're being. And he said that today. So now it's a whole new level of simplicity and efficiency for me. My clients have always made big leaps, and now it's even faster with my development of the shift codes. And out of the three, there's really only one you need to quantum leap. The other two are backups if you're not ready for the main one, and quite honestly, most people aren't. But stick with me because I'm going to break them all down for you today. Let's get one thing straight. Quantum leaps don't happen from, as I mentioned, hustling harder, like the executive who works long hours to build a reputation as a go-to, or the creative or salesperson desperately knocking on doors for that one hot lead that's going to blow things wide open. Collecting more strategies, like the entrepreneur that is trying the latest marketing funnels and ads or sales process, or finding some secret hack, like the latest in Instagram or YouTube hacks, or the celebrity that needs another new headshot after they've had the latest youthing treatment. If that worked, you'd already be there. And it's not that they don't work to some degree, but mostly they just keep you running in circles when you're actually ready for the lead. And I really want to ground that in for you because it is totally against everything we've learned about how to climb the ladder, how to grow to the next level in your business, the next level of you. Honestly, you can't go on any social media platform without somebody pounding into your brain. You've got to do this now. Otherwise, and they don't say it, but it's implied, otherwise, you're a loser. So please repeat after me. It's not the hustle, the strategies, or some secret thing you need to do. And I'm going to repeat that again. It's not the hustle, the strategies, or the secret thing you need to do. And if you're being honest, you already know it. You've tried the hustle. You've tried the new frameworks, the planners, the podcasts, the hack. You've studied enough to write your own damn book. But here's the real problem. You're still operating from the same identity that built your current success. And that identity is maxed out and it can't take you further. At a certain level, more effort, more doing isn't the lever. Identity is. So let me show you what I mean. M. She left a high-level corporate position in healthcare for a startup company that ended up not going in the direction she signed up for. What happens? One of my mantras is, so what? Now what? What looks like a problem doesn't have to be and certainly doesn't need to limit you. In fact, it can be launching you. And more often than not, it is. That's shifting into and keeping your focus on what you truly desire. We recalibrated her to her ideal role and aligned her identity with it, and she shifted into who she actually was and had a signed offer on her terms in just over a month. She actually said, it happened so damn fast, Karen. And we've done this a number of times before, but this time it was faster. That's how this is working now. So Kay, the lawyer, she was working overseas for a top-tier firm. Kay worked 18-hour days on some of the biggest legal cases you probably would have heard of because they were huge. Her aim was to make partner, but at the same time, she was an American living in the UK, commuting to other European countries, and had no personal life, really. How could she? So other than making a partner in her law firm, she wanted an actual life partner also, but her hours and travel made it impossible. Or so she thought. Within our first session or two, and using the shift codes, she totally shifted her beliefs about finding and choosing a partner. She thought she had to wait to be chosen. No, 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 no. We moved her into a different state of being, and she met her husband-to-be in just over a month. That quick. On top of that, she had other professional goals. When I told her she could lawyer and work 9 to 5 and make the same amount of money, she thought I was crackers. Again, we used the shift codes, stripped back the hustle, the paradigm that lawyers have to work long hours, and rebuilt her energetic alignment with her dream job, which she got just 6 months later. And she left her current job at that time and very unusually got her bonus as well, which is unheard of. But here's the thing, it's all possible when you're aligned with what you want and who you want to be. And hint, that you already exists. But wait, there's more. Because Kay was ambitious. That's needless to say, I think. She wanted to write a book and start her own business, but again, her belief that doing that would be 3 to 5 years off in the future. Not so. We collapsed that timeline to less than a year. And Kay's story isn't just about a quantum leap. It's multiple quantum leaps. And she's not the only client that I've had that has done this. So seriously, all it takes is a vision for your life, ambition, and an openness to do life different than you have been. Now, I'm going to be scrolling, through a lot of my testimonials here. You'll see them over to the side. And there's more where those came from. So this stuff works. I just really want to embed that in you, that it works. Look, I've worked with people in all kinds of industries, Hollywood creatives, celebrities, financial industry, and it's the same story, different industry. People limit what they think is possible and establish timelines that are way off in the future that aren't really that inspiring, and it doesn't have to be that way. Different industries, different paths, same result. When identity shifts, time collapses. And that's why I can say confidently, this works if you're ambitious, open, and willing to shift, period. Here are the 3 shift codes. The first one is a paradigm shift. What we do is we break down the outdated rules you didn't know you were living by, like Hard work is the only way. I need to work this long in my role to prove myself, or I need to work for a year or two before I can move up, or I need another degree, or business is always slow after Thanksgiving. Blah, 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 blah. These paradigms keep you small and slow, and much like running your computer on old software, it's slow, it's clunky, and keeps crashing your computer. And that's where the plateaus come. That's where the stall comes from. And you probably already know that we have beliefs that don't serve us, and in fact, limit us greatly in our quest to achieve what we want in our life and business. What I've found is that some of those limiting beliefs fit into a broader framework of beliefs or paradigms, and once you get to the base of a limiting paradigm and dissolve it, all the other beliefs cease to exist, just like that. These are the aha moments when you have someone introduce an entirely new concept to you and you understand and you get it and realize that whatever you thought before is no longer relevant. It's kind of like when you learned that Santa wasn't real. Oops, did I spill the beans? A lot of these paradigms are so indoctrinated into everyday life that they become blind spots. They're pretty easy for me to uncover quickly, and I'm now teaching my clients how to find those paradigms themselves. But for you, now, what's something you've been resisting doing, being, or having? Because right there's a belief or a paradigm you've been holding on to that isn't serving you. What is it? So take a moment and write it down for yourself or comment it below. Okay, second shift, an energetic shift. So what I found is that not only do people have those paradigms that don't work mentally for them, but the energetics of those beliefs, stories, and experiences actually get stuck in your field. Not only just in your body and your mind, but in your vibe, your frequency that you're transmitting out to the world. Most times, these are situations that impacted us greatly and affected us energetically that we carry around physically. It's like when your internet has moved down to dial-up speed and whatever you're trying to upload keeps failing. It's the same thing. When we dissolve that blocked energy, it's like your internet speed has moved into fiber optic speeds, and whatever signal you're trying to send out to the world uploads clean and lightning fast. The closest thing I can say that you may have done naturally around this is after a really good session of meditation or going into silence. You'll also know when you've had an energetic shift, when you have one of those moments when your body kind of jerks after some kind of revelation or you get a jerk and a shiver down your back. That is an energetic shift. Can you remember a time that happened? That was an energetic shift, and it would be really good for you to write that down for yourself as well. And I would love if you would comment it below. Okay, then the last shift is the identity shift. This is the quantum leap button. You decide who the hell you are at this next level and step into it. When you do that and stay in that state of being, the world rearranges itself around you. Look, it's doing it now anyways. Everything happening in your life and business is a reflection of you. If you want it to be different, you have to decide what different is and who you are in that reality. And I call this the certainty principle. Once you decide and hold that frequency of your next identity, everything around you rearranges. Opportunities, people, money, they start showing up because you're aligned and decisive. And you'd be saying, this is my reality now, no matter what's happening on the outside. You may have done this before quite naturally or because of some big event and you declared, I am never doing that again. And you automatically shift yourself into a different version of yourself. It's a declaration, essentially. It's a decision, a declaration. Now, I did that when I moved from my hometown with Jeff to a bigger city. I decided I was no longer that small town gal, and I changed my look and changed into a bolder version of myself and never looked back. It really was a declaration. My life changed dramatically in very, very good ways, and that's really why I'm here today. Having said that, this can be the most difficult shift of the three, and sometimes people can step right into it. And for those of you that can't, no worries, you're not alone. And that's why the other shifts are used. Think of paradigm and energy shifts like training wheels. Great if identity feels like too big a leap, but eventually it all comes down to identity. That's the switch that collapses timelines. So I want to invite you right now to think about one identity that you've been circling. The CEO role, the speaker, the successful business person, the creative. If you stepped into it fully today, what would you say yes to? And what will you stop tolerating? Write that down now for yourself again, or comment it below. I would love to hear about it. So here's what you'll find. People will say, I don't believe in this stuff. Cool. It's totally fine that people are not aligned with this, and they may never be. You don't need to convince anyone, and I don't either, because I see the shift codes work every day. It's good to be skeptical, and I'm pretty analytical myself. And what I do is to tap into how my soul feels. Does it feel like truth, but doesn't align with my current beliefs? If it feels like truth to me, I know a limiting belief needs to be deconstructed. Others might wonder, will this work for me? My situation is different. Short answer, yes. If you're ambitious and open, it has nothing to do with what industry you're in or what level you're at. I've worked with lawyers, executives, entrepreneurs, Hollywood creatives, finance leaders, celebrities. It doesn't matter. What matters is ambition, openness, and the ache that says, there's more for me. And that's all you need to make the leap. I'm all about efficiency. Seriously, it's a bit of an obsession with me. I always want to make things easier and more time efficient. Otherwise, I know I won't do it. And I definitely know my clients don't have time for more things to do. To me, none of this is about adding more difficulty in one's life. It's about aligning. So it's super easy. Look, what I do absolutely isn't for everyone. In fact, it isn't for most people, and that's okay. But if you want another hack, scroll on. If you want to keep chasing the latest guru, knock yourself out. If you want to keep proving yourself worthy by burning yourself out, honestly, go for it, but why? But if you're actually ready to move, to collapse time and stop circling, then you're my kind of person. This is what I do. I don't do surface. I don't do stuck. I don't do savior, and I do not ever advocating for settling. Because when ambitious, brilliant people take action from alignment instead of force, they become unstoppable. Their presence shifts rooms. Their clarity rippled into teams, families, clients, culture. That's the work, and that's why I'm here. So if you found this video valuable, here's what to do next. Subscribe. Follow this series. There's going to be more videos just like this, and let me know what your goal is and your timeline in the comments, and I would love to celebrate you, and I will respond. Also, if you test the shift codes, as I mentioned, comment that below. And if you come this far, you're going to love my ebook, Aligned Ambition, The Secrets of the Shift Codes. Just DM Align, and I'll send you the link. So cheers, and I will see you in the next videos, and go out and live a no limits life. See you soon.